Chapter 13. The Days of Imprisonment. From time to time, we used to run away from our peephole to the kitchen in fear of being discovered by the Martians. But the attraction of the peephole was irresistible for both of us, in spite of the infinite danger that could engulf us any moment. We still fought for the horrible privilege of looking through the peephole. The curate and I fought, thrust, and kicked each other in silence. The danger and isolation only increased our incompatibility. Many fought. He would weep for hours together, mutter continuously, and ate more than I did, and had no restraint over his feelings and emotions. Sometimes I had to actually threaten him to keep quiet, and while we fought, snatched food and drink, the strange routine of the Martians continued. Three new fighting machines had arrived on the scene. The curate was looking through the slit when the first man were brought into the pit. Terrified, he made a backward movement and fell near me. I shared his panic, but my curiosity gave me courage to see through the slit. At first, I could see no reason for his frantic behavior. Then I saw the reason. I heard a yell and saw a long tentacle reaching over the shoulder of the machine to the cage that hunched upon its back. Then something struggling violently was suddenly lifted high in the sky, and by the green brightness I could see a man. He was stout, ruddy, middle-aged man, well dressed. I could see his staring eyes. He vanished behind the mound, and for a moment there was silence all around, and then began a striking and sustained and cheerful hooting from the Martians. I instantly realized and mentioned earlier that these Martians nourished themselves by injecting the fresh blood of living creatures into their veins. I slight out, clapped my hands over my ears, and bolted to the kitchen. The curate was robbed of all reason and was shocked by this cruel act. He could not be of any help. I had to eventually plan our escape. On the third day, I saw the Martians actually kill a lad and feed. The sight was horrible and disgusting, and I decided to dig a way out. But when the loose earth collapsed, I gave up the idea of escaping and moving out from the place. When I had given up all hopes on the fifth night, I heard a sound that seemed like heavy guns. I peeped and saw the moon shining in the horizon. I heard a dog howl in the distance. It seemed that the place was finally deserted by the Martians. Then I heard the sound of great guns booming. Six distinct reports I counted, and after a long interval, six again, and that was all. Chapter 14. The Death of the Curate. It was on the sixth day of our imprisonment that I peeped for the last time, and found myself alone, instead of keeping close to me and trying to drive me from the slit. The curate had gone back into the kitchen. I went to look for him and found him drinking the burgundy. For a few minutes there was a tussle. We stood threatening each other. In the end, I planted myself between the food and him. I divided the food in the pantry into rations to last us 10 days. All day and night we sat face to face. Our hostility ended up in open conflict. For 2 days we fought in undertown and had wrestling contests, but he had gone beyond reason. He either attacked the food or talked noisily to himself. On the eighth day, he began to talk loudly to himself. Be still, I implored. I have been still too long, he said in a voice loud enough to reach the pit. Woe unto this unfaithful city, woe! I had to hit him to stop him. He lay still on the ground. Immediately there was a noise outside. I looked up and saw the lower surface of a handling machine coming slowly across the hall. Then I saw the large dark eyes of the Martian peering, and then a long metallic, snake-like tentacle came across. Feeling slowly through the hole with great effort, I opened the door of the coal cellar and stood there in the dark, staring at the doorway into the kitchen. Had the Martian seen me? What was it doing now? Something was moving to and fro there very quietly in the darkness of the coal cellar. I heard the tentacle moving and at times tapping against the wall with a slight metallic ring. Then a heavy body, I knew too well, was dragged across the kitchen towards the opening. I crept to the door and peeped into the kitchen towards the opening. In the triangle of bright outer sunlight, I saw the Martian closely studying the curate's head. I crept back to the coal cellar, shut the door, and began to cover myself up as much as I could, as noiselessly as possible, among the firewood and the coal. Soon I heard the metallic jingle pass the kitchen and come close to the scullery. I prayed continuously. The Martian opened the door. In the darkness, I could see the thing touching and examining the wall, coals, wood, and ceiling. Once it even touched the heel of my boot. I was on the verge of screaming. It bent and picked something, maybe a lump of coal, and seemed to go out of the cellar. I shifted my position and whispered sincere prayers for safety. Then I heard the slow, deliberate sound creeping towards me again. It rapped smartly against the cellar door and closed it. I heard it go into the kitchen, then silence. Had it gone? I lay all the 10th day in utter darkness, buried among coals and firewood. It was only on the 11th day that I dared to move out.